Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and today we are going to be working on the Barn Star Sampler Sew Along. The name of the block is the Tulip block. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is what mine looks like right now. This is the block that we're going to be making this week. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit easier and is I think the pieces for this one are smaller because it's a smaller block, and it makes it more attainable to complete. As we move further in the sew along, I think it gets a little bit easier. So those first 3 blocks that we completed were a little bit they were a little bit challenging, I think. It's not anything that is undoable. It's what I'm saying. Just as long as you take your pay attention to your cutting and just follow the instruction in the book. And also, Sandra commented about the seams, sewing the seams open versus sewing the seams pressing the seam to the side. My first 2 blocks that I did, I pressed my seams open. And then the third one that I did, I pressed the seams according to the direction in the book, right? So I think that either way, you are in charge of the direction of which you want your seams to be pressed, right? So with this one, I did press the seams open. I will show you the back, but don't judge me on this one, okay? So this is what the back of it looks like, right? I did press to the side on this one. So I want you to see what my back side looks like. This one right here is supposed to be going this direction. So, but this is what the back of it looks like. I pressed to according to the direction in the book. Okay. So it's not too bad. I'm going to do it as the book wants us to in this block. So that way that will help you kind of like, oh, should I press open or should I press to the side? When you see the way I do mine, that will probably help you to make your decision as to which direction you want to press your seam. However you decide to do it, don't stress about it. Just do it the best way you know how to do it. These blocks are a little bit cumbersome. I'm not going to deny that, but just sew the best you can. With that being said, let's start sewing this block, okay? And I have cut out my pieces, okay? These are my pieces right here. I wrote on my pieces with the friction erasable pen. This will iron out. I'm completely okay with writing on these and they're red. It will iron out. Eventually this quilt will get washed. Well, with that being said, let's start sewing this block. Our first instruction for this block wants us to take our square piece and attach it to our rectangle piece. The placement of this does matter, so you're going to make sure your rectangle piece is onto your left and your square piece is onto your right when you're piecing them together. So I'm going to do that step now, and then we will, let me get the whole thing. Let me get all the pieces here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put this together first, just like the instructions said. And with this one, you are pressing to the left. Now, I know in like for everyone, it says press to the dark. No, this one wants you to press to the light. So we're going to press, when you press, your seam is going to be pressed to this side. I'll show you when I'm done. Today I'm using a different machine. I'm using the Janome M7. And I hope everyone is staying nice and cozy. We are coming up on the first day of spring, and I understand a lot of you guys are in the cold region, unlike us here in Texas. So for this, for example, right, it wants us to press going this way, okay? So it wants us to press going this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finger press first, and eventually I'm going to use my iron, but I am pressing it per the book instruction. I did it the last time with the last block that was sewn, the carpenter block. I did it with that and it worked out. So I'm going to do it with this one too. All right. And then, so now what we're doing is we're going to sew another rectangle on top like this. Okay. Now the direction of which you're sewing your pieces does matter. This is my piece C. I'm going to put C right on top like that. Okay. So when it's done, you're going to have one, it's going to look like a square when we're done. Right now, your lighter part is going to be to your left and your darker fabric is going to be to your right. Even though I'm using a yellow fabric, whatever you're using here, make sure you're not sewing like, oh, I'm just sewing it together. You have to make sure your lighter part is on your left side, okay? So I'm gonna just piece this together. And so with this one, we're going to press this way, okay? We're pressing north, just like the book have instructed us to do. So we're pressing this way, pressing again this way, right? So what I'm gonna do now is go and iron my pieces with a real iron just to make sure it's smooth. And then I'll add on, and then we'll go on to step 2, okay? Let me iron it and then I'll bring it back. So here they are, nice and pressed. And this is what the back is looking like right now, right? This is pressed this way, this is pressed this way. This is what it looks like. Now, I can't promise you that it's gonna look nice all the time like that, but that's what it's looking like. So the next step is step B. I'm gonna flip my page and then we're going to do step 2. So step 2, we're still going to leave our piece like this because our light is going this way, right? And then our dark is inside, right? So what we're gonna do is take this piece right here. We're going to sew this piece right here to here. That's what we're gonna do now, okay? Here I have a leaders and enders on, so it doesn't, the thread doesn't like bunch up at the beginning of my fabric, on my sewing. So with this, I'm finger pressing it open, going this way. I'm finger pressing it like that. The next step, within step 2, we're going to take this piece, the rectangle piece, we're going to join it to the bottom, just like that, okay? It's going to form like an, I don't know, like a chair looking, okay? And then we're going to sew it just like this to this right now, okay? I'm gonna just take my piece, and just do it like this is what they're gonna look like right now. This is what they are looking like. All four pieces are looking like this, right? And this is what the back is looking like. I've pressed per the instruction. I've pressed this going this way, this going this way, and like this. And they look to be matched up. So we'll see at the end what it looks like. So I am pressing per the pattern instruction. Okay, so what I'm doing now, this is step 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press it with the iron, and we're going to move on to step 3. Okay, so my pieces are all ironed. This is what it's looking like. All right, so the next step, step number 3, wants us to, so we're going to take our square piece, okay, and we're going to do a snowball effect, right? This is how it's going to be, right? Like this. We're going to sew from one corner to the next, just a snowball. All right, now that we've sewn the corners together, I want to make sure that I'm sewing in the right direction. So I'm sewing from here to here, okay? And then the next one wants us to sew on the bottom left corner from here to here. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to sew this like this, right? And I'm going to sew from here to here. All right, this is the last one. So we're sewing from just a snowball, and then we're done with this step. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to put the ender here. Save my thread. So this part and this part, this is what it's going to look like, right? Like this. When we're done with them, okay? I'm going to trim this part off, and I'm going to press going that way, okay? So this is what our piece is looking like right now, like this. And we have completed step number 3. So what I'm going to do now is put this one aside, like there. That's good. So we're going to do step number 4. Step number 4 wants us to sew a corner piece, okay? So this is step number 4, and we're going to take that square piece, and we're going to sew on to the corner like that. So we're going to sew going this way, okay? And the reason why I'm trying to be as detailed as I can right now is because there's going to be another piece that requires us to sew the other direction, okay? For this one, we're going to sew from the middle to the bottom right, okay? We're going to go like this. We're just snowballing, and it's going to look like this. So your lighter piece is going to be over here, or your whatever your background is. Your background piece is going to be over here, and then your darker fabric will be right here, just like that. Okay, this is to my right side and this is to my left side. So what I'm going to do is cut. And with this one, when I'm cutting, I just pretty much eyeball it and just cut. I don't measure out 1/4 inch from my seam. It's enough right now, and cut straight, just like that. So I'm going to finger press it going upward like this. Now we are finger pressing through towards the lighter fabric or whatever your background is, and that's what the instructions said in the book. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to press like that. Okay, press like that. See that? I'm pressing it just my fingers, and then I'm still going to iron it, but when I sew the other piece on, then I'll iron everything together. And so now we're going to go to step 5. This is my step 5. Now notice this piece, it's a longer piece than this. So if you see this piece and this piece, this is a longer piece than this, okay? And when we sew this square piece on, we're going to sew it on to this side. We're going to sew from here to here. Notice this one we're sewing from here to here. This one we're going to sew from here to here. Let me make sense of what I'm trying to say. Okay. So this one right here, for this one, we're going to sew from here to here, and that's step number 5. We're sewing from upper to lower left. Okay, let's do that. I've chain pieced all 4 pieces, and again, I'm just going to make sure that I have my pieces sewn going the right direction before I cut them. So what I'm going to do now is trim. I'm going to finger press going towards my background, right? And then I'm going to press it, give it a little heat with my iron, and we're going to do step number 6. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is step number 6, but first I'm going to press these, okay, so they don't look floppy like this. Okay, so the pieces are all sewn together. So we're going to take our first step that we did from step 1 to 3. We're going to now put the pieces together, right? Your background fabric for this one is going to be like next to each other, and your step number 5 that we just did is like this. So this is what your pieces are going to be looking like right now, right? Looks like a little tulip, right? Just like that. This is what it looks like. This is step 1 through 6. So what we're going to do now is we're going to join this piece to this piece, just like this, right? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this aside because we're doing this first. Now, this is sewn to this. So what I'm going to do now is sew this part. So this part to this part. And we are completed with step number 6. Okay. our pieces are all sewn on, right? So as if you can see, this right here are, they're gonna be like a V, and then these are gonna be like a V. You want your step number 6 to look like this, okay? And so what we're doing now is making the side units. So we're going to take our kind of like a rectangle. I put I on there, and then you're going to take your square piece, okay? And you're going to join them together. These were the fuzzy cut piece that I already cut out. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use this or if I wanted to use this, okay? So I'm not sure which one I want to use, this one or this one. I've already used this one on the very first block. This little deer poking out of the little wood or bushes or flowers, whatever you want to call it. I fuzzy cut this to put in the middle, right? And I also fuzzy cut this from the Homemade Line by Tulip. This is the sewing machine. I wanted this burst of flower, which kind of like pulls the color of the purples and the light purples and a little bit of the turquoise from, you know, just all the colors to blend together. But then I also like this one, okay? And it also has the color as well. The yellow, the purple, the light purple, whatnot. They're still there. So I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with. So I'm not going to even debate or try to think about it. I'm going to use both. I'm going to use this one for one, and I'm going to use this one for the other one. So that's what we're going with. Okay. So this is going to be my centerpiece for one of the block, and then the burst of flower will be my my center for the other block. Okay. So let's still sew this one together. For this, we're going to press towards your lighter. You're going to press away from your background, okay? Away from your background, and you're going to, I'm pressing to the side. And what I'm going to do after this, I want you to be able to see which way I'm pressing. I'm going to give it a little bit of heat and iron it, and then we're going to assemble our pieces. Okay, so let me go and iron this, and I'll show you what the back side looks like, and then we'll put the pieces together. Okay, so I decided to use this right here for the middle. I think it makes it a lot more awake than this other purple one right here. But if I put a purple one, that's what it looks like. If I put that, that's what it looks like. So I'm going to use this on the other block because we're making 2 each. So I use this one, I use this together. They're not going, they're going in different section of the quilt. So it'll just be a little interesting. It'll give you a little bit more interest, okay? Our seam allowance are going to be pressed. The middle part is going to be pressed in this way, right? And then the outer part are going to be pressing this way. And then this one is going to be going this way as well, okay? So we're going this way, and this way, okay? Let's sew. So I'm sewing the middle part first because it's the only one that has to be, that the seam has to be pressed inward. So let me do that. So I'm pressing inward, okay? And I'm going to take my other piece and sew like this. And so I'm going to press it going inward like that. Okay. We're going to sew this piece right here to this piece. So I'm pressing this right here away so I don't forget which direction it goes. So I'm pressing this way, okay? And then this right here, I'm gonna sew it on and I'm gonna press this way, okay? So now I am assembling the block. The pressing direction for the middle part is going this way, and then the top part is going this way. So what I'm going to do is pin them together so my seams matches up at the end when you're looking at it. So visually it makes it a little bit more appealing, I guess that's the word. So I'm just gonna pin them. Y'all know I'm not a pinner, but when it comes to the point, I do like my points to meet or to match up. So I will pin that just so I won't have a jacked up points. Okay, so this part I'm just assembling. Take my pin out. I don't like to sew over my pin. There are people out there that like to sew over their pin. It's a very expensive fix if you break or you break your plate on your machine. So this top part is done, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna press upward like this. So this is what the back side is looking like right now. I'm still going to press it, right? So we're going to join the bottom part, like right here. We're going to put them together like so, okay? Mind you, this is pressed. Oops. Well, I made a mess. This middle part is supposed to be pressed this way, and this is supposed to press out this way. But since I messed up, I'm gonna make it work, okay? Just like that, we are done, okay? And I went as slow as I could with this block because to answer Sandra's question about the pressing of the seams. So right now, this is what it's looking like on the back. I'm going to press it and I'll bring it back and I'll show you what my back looks like. I press according to the pattern and this is what it looks like. Not too bad, but not the best. Not as good as the front, right? Not as good as the front. This is the front. This is what it looks like. I'll show you when I'm done. Let me press it and I'll bring it right back. So here are my block side by side. This is the one that I use the deer head for. And this is the one that I use the burst of flowers. At the end of the day in the quilt, they're going to be in different places. I just want you to know that I am still mimicking the book. I'm still using my own fabrics and making it work for me and putting my own little modern twist into it. And so if you see it here, it looks like these are shadow of the purple. So I use the fairy dust, the I think it's the gray background-ish. I can't remember what it's called right now. So I use that and I still use the purple with the light purple and I still put the blue right here. In the book, it kind of has this color and it has this color in the middle. I didn't use that. I went on ahead and fuzzy cut, just tried to have fun with it. So if you look in the book, you will see that my colors are still matching with what the book has. I'm still using my own modern colors and still mimicking what is in the book, but I'm putting my own fun twist into it as well. And this is what I hope that you are also doing in your sewing room. I try to go as slow as possible while I was sewing the blocks, so you will have a better understanding on how to tackle the blocks. I understand that they are not, it is not an easy, like an easy to put together kind of pattern. But if you take your time and you follow the direction, the pressing direction, and if you do choose to press open, that's all well too. So, but this is just me showing this so you can kind of, it'll give you some kind of inspiration to be able to tackle this this block and to make this quilt. So I hope this has helped. If you enjoyed this this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and like and share and subscribe as well. I'm just gonna leave this to you guys to be the judge if this is better or this is better. Which one should I go with? I don't plan on ripping them out and doing it all over again. But I think that with this kind of color being right here, like this, I think this kind of pops. And with the purple being more of right here, and I think this works too. If this works for you and you have this kind of fabric in your sewing room and you want to do it this way, here you go, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share down below. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and I have sewn both of my blocks, so now it is your turn to make your block, and I will see you next time.